Seoul Olympic Park has a special guest on display amid rave reviews over Squid Game. The larger-than-life doll in the red light, green light episode, whose name is Youngie, by the way, is there at the park, much to the delight of her fans. I have Chun Sung-cho standing by. Sung-cho, welcome.
Good afternoon, Sunny.
Right, so do start by telling us more about Youngie.
Yes, so once again, I'm dressed in this famous Squid Game tracksuit because let's face it, the world still hasn't gotten over the Squid Game fever, and we fans are trying to look for ways to experience at least a bit of what it feels like being on this mega hit show. So that is exactly why I brought you guys here today, the Olympic Park in southeastern Seoul. And here is a replica of a giant doll featured on the show. So her name is Youngie. She is 4 meters tall, and she arrived here late last month to celebrate the show's global success. And as you can see, she is quite tall, but she's not exactly 7 meters tall like the actual doll. Also, she can't roll her eyes or turn its head and start shooting people like the actual doll on the show. But still, it gives me the chills just looking at the life-size doll right before my eyes. I think there's just something about her eyes that gives me the chills. And as you can see, here are throngs of people here who have all come to get a glimpse of what the doll actually looks like. There are actually a lot of people behind the camera right now. And oh my God, look at the doll, right? So he is dressed like in the uniform, just like me. So I'm going to talk to the owner here. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 지금 걔도 이렇게 잘 옷을 입고 있는데 여기 어떻게 오셨어요?
강아지한테랑 같이 찍어가지고 사진 남기고 싶어서 왔어요.
So she said that she came here to get a photo with the doll. 그 오징어 게임 보셨을 텐데 실제로 보니까 기분이 어떠세요? 무서우신가요?
네. 그리고 뭔가 이렇게 사진 찍을 수 있게 해서 좋은 것 같아요.
감사합니다. 답변 감사합니다. So I asked her what she feels after looking at the doll in real life, and she said it's actually creepy, and she's thankful for the opportunity to be able to take a picture with the doll in real life. All right, so to give you a more explanation about the doll, so in episode 1 of the show, the players participate in a version of the game, red light, green light. Actually, there are, I believe there are different variations of the game across all different countries, but the Korean version is called 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. I think you can hear it in the background music as well. 피었습니다, right? So its translation goes, 무궁화 flower has blossomed. And of course, 무궁화 is the Korean national flower. It's the rose of Sharon. And I know the phrase has nothing to do with what the actual game is all about, but it's nonetheless one of the major Korean children's games. I grew up playing it in the playground with my friends. And the Korean version also follows the same simple principles. So while the person's eyes are on you, try to stay still, but also try to make it to the finish line as quickly as possible. And also, the doll, Youngie, she's actually a real character from Korean textbooks. I grew up hearing stories about Youngie. I think every South Korean who've gone to South Korean elementary school will know who Youngie is. So I think that is what makes the show so creepy and surprising as well, the juxtaposition of innocent child's play with violent deaths. So the doll will be displayed at the park until January 23rd. So if you get a chance, if you're around, maybe you can come here and get a selfie with the doll as well before she goes away. But of course, you have to remember that you have to keep your masks on at all times. Try to keep a safe distance from other people since it is a public space. This has been Chun Sung-cho reporting live from the Olympic Park, and back to Sunny in the studio.
Right, Sung-cho, you're right. A nostalgic reminder of our textbook illustrations back in the 70s and 80s. All right, thank you for that report. See you next week.